Thank you all for joining us virtually for this iteration of Conversations at MOCA. My name is Amanda Kovach, and I'm the Curator of Education here at the Museum of Contemporary Art in North Miami. Before proceeding, MOCA acknowledges that we stand on the current and ancestral home of the Seminole and Miccosukee tribe of Indians of Florida. We further acknowledge the Calusa, Yaega, Miami, and Tequesta peoples, all historic caretakers of this land. We honor and thank them for their past, present, and future stewardship of Southern Florida. Funding for this program was provided through a grant from the Florida Humanities with funds from the National Endowment for the Humanities. Any views, findings, conclusions, or recommendations expressed in this program do not necessarily represent those of the Florida Humanities or the National Endowment for the Humanities. Additional support was provided by City National Bank. It's often said that Vodoun makes a space for difference, challenging norms and identities and social constructs, drawing upon the mythic and ritual traditions that make up Haitian Vodoun. Didier William's work both imagines a kind of queer representation, but also deal with the curious and often nefarious gaze that precedes that representation. Similarly, Leah Gordon's Kanaval explores oral histories and carnival costuming as self-generated mythology and identity. In this conversation, our wonderful panelists are going to consider intersections of being queer, Black, and Haitian, and the deployment of aesthetics and sensibilities that confront structures of heteronormativity. For everyone's knowledge, there is some nudity in the work that will be showcased. I would like to introduce our wonderful moderator, Professor Jafari Sinclaire Allen. He's a professor of African American and African Diaspora Studies, a Department of of Columbia University. Dr. Allen works at the intersections of queer sexuality, gender, and Blackness in Cuba, the US, and transnationally. A recipient of fellowship from the National Science Foundation, Social Science Research Council Sexuality Research Program, and Rockefeller Foundation in Diasporic Racism's Project. He teaches courses on the cultural politics of race, sexuality, and gender in Black diasporas, Black feminism and queer theory, critical cultural studies, ethnographic methodology and writings, subjectivity, consciousness, and resistance in Cuba and the Caribbean. Thank you so much, Professor, for joining us, and I'm so excited to get to listen to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me to be here, to MOCA, everyone at MOCA for bringing us together, and of course to Didier William for the remarkable work in the exhibit, creating an occasion for this conversation. My job is basically to introduce our esteemed panelists and to listen very carefully and perhaps ask a couple of questions, but I'm sure that we'll have a fulsome discussion. I'm really very honored to be here with both of these tremendous artists and witnesses and advocates. And I'll just go ahead and introduce them. First, I'll introduce Erol Josué, who is one of the world's best known and most highly respected experts in the centuries-old Haitian Vodoun religion. His presentations spotlight elements of Vodou in a clear and engaging fashion that draws from personal experience, tapping into his many decades as a performer and his accomplished hand as a playwright and an arts presenter. Ordained as a Ougan in his teens, Erol Josué currently holds the position of General Director of Haiti's National Bureau of Ethnology, acting as both an academic and living emissary for his birthplace and the Haitian Vodou religion. Josué's newest album, Pèlerinage, is a showcase for Josué's eclectic and innovative blend of contemporary jazz, Haitian sacred songs, Creole folk, improvisation, and electronic pop. And that drops on March 24th, so you should be like me and be sure that you get that as soon as you can, and perhaps go to YouTube to see the really gorgeous videos that have come out with some of that music. Speaking of gorgeous visual art, the other panelist is Josué Azor, who is a Haitian photographer based in Port-au-Prince. His documentary work focuses on notions of ritual and community within Haitian society. From a queer perspective, his works seek to explore the construction of masculinity within Haitian society. His work has been regularly exhibited in Haiti and internationally, notably at the Centro de la Imagen in Mexico City as part of the major African Americanos exhibition and at the Photoville Festival in New York. He's also a member of the Collectif Dimension, a collective of Haitian photographers, videographers, and journalists based in Haiti. So thank you both very much for being here, and let's just get right into it. So can we begin? Let's begin with Erol Josué.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you for that introduction. Thank you for both of you. Thank you also to Josué as well. We're going to share that panel, a very beautiful panel together for that beautiful subject also. And I'm so flattered to hear what people say, the way they understand my work, my job, what I'm doing and for the community, and also at the Office of Ethnology in Port-au-Prince in Haiti. And any day like today, which is a very difficult time for Haiti, very difficult moment in the Haiti existence, but we're still working as artists, a visual and philanthropist, and that's the moment very important for us also to keep on create, keep on propose a different way, different point of view to give like a IV, like I said last night in New York, a new IV to Haiti, because our country need that IV, and that IV, which is that, for example, that kind of panel, that kind of discussions, so we can discuss is a plan of development when we can discuss about those subject being a lot of people being stigmatized by to be queer, to be Vodouisant, to be real. It's very difficult to be ourselves in Haiti. It's very difficult to be natural in Haiti. But in the same token, people like you, a project like MOCA and different project, and for it give me personally some hope to continue to say Haiti Pap Mouri, because we have to, Haiti cannot die. So we need those breath, we need those energy to keep the egregore of Haiti alive. And my perspective about that subject on Vodou, myself as a Vodou priest, which is I prefer the word Unga, the Creole or African word Unga, because someone is priest. A priest is someone who very lonely, have a loneliness life. Cannot have officially sex, cannot have kids, cannot have enjoy himself. Myself as Unga or Mambo, we can decide. We have that liberty, that freedom to live our life, to have boyfriend or girlfriend, to be married, to have kids, to live the way we're supposed to live in the name of our law of the spirit also, and with respect of the spirit and the society. We are not priest and priestess, we are Unga and Mambo, which is a very big difference. But in English, we have to do the translation as priest or priestess. But it was important for me to do the difference between a Catholic church priest and a Unga. And we stay in our peristyle or Vodou temple with our unsi, our spiritual daughter and father. It's a different way of life. It's a different way, it's a different philosophy of life. It's a different way to what, like they say in Creole, vivre ensemble, gather together, And the first Vodou songs in our ceremony, they call service loi or règlement. We can translate it in English like a liturgy, mean la famille semblée, which is family gathered together, because we're not working, we are not doing that to go back to Africa, but to keep our land prosper, to keep our land, because our ancestors, our parents been working to get that land. It's become our land, with a land of freedom, a land who create the mother of freedom, which is in the name of Haiti. Finally, with MOCA and Vodou, like I said earlier, I was 16 when I do my first initiation and become a priest leader, because become a Ngan is not one day we decide to become Ngan. It's a process of life. It's a process. And you can be initiated to confirm your gift, to develop your gift, to develop your third eye, the spirit and your spiritual father or mother helping you to develop that. But you, as a human being, as a person, as a chosen child, you're supposed to have the possibility to hear and to read differently, to read in the crossroad. The crossroad mean in the Kafu and Creole, and Kafu to read, to see people, to see the teacher, and when he speaks, and you can understand something different inside of him, inside of the first very nice woman who spoke with us earlier. Know how to read people, how to read the environment, how to read the ocean, how to read those leaves and roots, and know their virtue, how have the knowledge to understand how to make those kind of tea, to know the treatment, to heal people from in different way, like physically and mentally, and which is the best important thing the Ngan or Mambo supposed to be attend, the possibility to learn and to read and to share. Like this said, Kafu decision, the decision of the crossroad. And about tonight also, the main focus is queer of Vodou, Professor. Am I supposed to speak about queer also, or just only Vodou?
You could speak about whatever you want to speak about. I mean, I think that the combination would be great. And one of those things is that,
yes,
I was thinking when you're talking about the family gathering in Peristyle, the family gathering, including everyone, including people of various descriptions. Maybe that's a way in to talk also about what people call queerness. We don't have to use that word if we don't want to. Sometimes that word works, sometimes it does not.
I don't know. I think for now, at a certain age, you can decide to use those words, because to make people understand certain things, and it's very important. Of course, it's when I speak about the gathering of family, the way the foundation of Vodou and Haiti is not only about blood family. It's about the family from the leaves. They call that in Creole famille petite feuille. My son from the leaves, and very important. When you have your son or your daughter from the leaves brother, they call the petite feuille or petite Kite, the son of the God from the house, are very important to speak about the different of people. How Vodou embrace everyone. How Vodou don't put himself like light up and try to get people like that. No. As a Vodou priest, as a Vodou priestess, as Mambo, you're supposed to uplifting your peristyle, your people, your community, to understand them and to be with them, and to be them sometimes, so you can feel what the society outside of the temple think and do to them, And when they come back to the periphery, to the society, supposed to be free to speak, free to live the life, free to be themselves. Myself, as an Ungar artist and philanthropist, for example, since my young age, I love wearing robe. I have a lot of dresses, but that the way I see dresses, that is not what kind of dress, what the society supposed to create, to impose me as a Ungar, as an artist, but it's what the way my community see me, the way my people, my family, my blood family, my lives family, my family semblé, the way they put me, I feel, the way I feel, is important. Because the way they feel is the way I feel also, because they are my real family. They are my journalists. We've been through same initiation. We've been through the same experiences. So, and sometimes they say, Ezeli Dantor, which is the black Madonna and Vodou Reglement, or Ezeli Freda, the white Madonna, they say, people queer are sons of Ezeli, which is good, which is true. Because Ezeli as a mother, Ezeli Dantor, Ezeli Freda as a mother, accept and embrace each genre of human being and their harm, because what we understand, what we been learned in the ceremony, each love is a benediction. Love is depending on where it comes from. Love is a benediction, is a privilege to be loved and be loved. And Vodou let us know how to love and be loved. Give us that possibility to accept, first of all, ourselves. Accept who we are, embrace who we are, and they're gonna come your prayer. That they call agir en trois paroles. En trois paroles. And trois paroles is 3 words. Those 3 words is what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you said, supposed to be in harmony, that in harmony of 3. And a trois paroles is also a name of a leaves for fever. Is a name of a leaves for when you're sick. And agir en trois paroles is drinking that tea, is taking that tea from that leaves. We're supposed to put your body in the good temperature. So a good Vodouisan, a good human being who accept people, who accept himself, is someone who walking in trois paroles, in 3 words, would have that, the symbol of that leaves called feuille trois paroles. I'm not too long. And 3 leaves for me is also a symbol of that. Those people is not something that I'm thinking I'm superior. I think when you're out in Haiti, when you're out in a certain society, as artists, as a spiritualist, as whatever, people, the way they see you, the way they impose you their life. So that's the reason I have a lot of respect for those young, they call Génération 2000, the Génération 2000 now, the way they express themselves. It's been, I always say that generation that they don't know is generation of ING, Instagram, generation of YouTube channel, generation of Facebook, but they're the same token generation of COVID-19, generation of a lot of things. So we're not supposed to see only the good, the greatest thing they can have, but also what they have like issue. Myself, my generation saw it was a generation of Bob Marley. I saw the die of Bob Marley. I see the way Sida was very popular in the world. We saw a lot of things. La chute de mur de Berlin. I saw USSS, but at the same token, we know there's a disco. We knew Dalida, Bonnie, Wally Badao, Michael Jackson, everything, every river came with water, clear water, and a different water also. And can you hear me well?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes.
So for me again to be here in that panel to speak about voodoo for MOCA is a very nice privilege. National Office of Ethnology, Bureau d'Ethnologie, which is, I call it the laboratoire science peuple, the laboratory of the science of the citizen science for the people, the nations philosophy. Laboratoire science peuple, effectively is a very nice laboratory, or people can understand the identity from archaeology, from anthropology, ethnology, sociology, everything very important to understand also the conflicts of anthropological conflicts in Haitian our society, and is the best way to start again to see how, for example, I'm just make a comment for a work for a research about anthropology virtual. What happened to Vodou people from TikTok, and TikTok and ING and Facebook? It's different, the new rituals that generation create, and the good who can help Vodou, and also who can destroy everything also. Yes. Wrong and bad, because Vodou been exposed to the world. And that culture being exposed, we love it, but at the same time we understand danger also.
Yes.
To speak about voodoo, what the difference between someone can be an advocate or a real voodooism, someone who's been believe in voodoo, or someone else have connaissance, knowledge, which is two different things. You can have a lot of you believe it and believe on something, but you don't have the knowledge. You have the connaissance to do it, to continue to do it, and which is that can become dangerous when we don't know about that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. There's a lot for us to discuss, and I'm sure when we come back, there are lots of these things that we want to move back to. But let's move to Josué Azor now, and then we'll have a chance to talk together. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sorry, I was too long. I'm sorry.
No. I was too enwrapped. Please.
Hi, everyone. Okay. I did prepare a long monologue. So thank you for the invitation. And yes, when I saw the subject, the intersectionality, being queer, being Black in Haiti, the first thing that came to my mind is like nowadays it's difficult to live as Haitian anyway. And when you live in the country, when you live outside the country, and being queer can put something particular to it, more prejudice. But I would say that sometimes I tend to think that in terms of priority of what you have to deal with, it's very complex and complicated to make your voice heard as queer with all the specificity and in a state where everything seemed to collapse, unfortunately. And then, but it's also like important, very important, to also to place, you know, ourselves and as if in a quest of a better future or a better now too, to know that we exist as people and we are in all level of the society and we have rights and we have the there is nothing mystical around us about us. When you know all the stigma that has been spread, like the photo that are shown now on the screen, it's like they are showing like a different part of the work when I started to document in 2013. And then we had that very bad experience with some, there was a commitment party and it was absolutely attacked by evangelical. They show themselves, they claim it. And I would say homophobia was very part of like a mindset in the society. But the 2010 earthquake, we saw a shift to the situation where we have more evangelical coming and also more, I would say also more queer expression. So those two words make it complicated and the backlash was very hard. And that's what we're still facing. And those photos for me, they are like, as I witness people and liberty, freedom, and to say that it's not something that is out of Haiti, that is very here in the country, and that, you know, simple people trying to find space and to just be themselves. So that's how the series come, and I'm still doing it. And the way I present it, there are some images like the one that we are seeing now. It's like it can look like totally particular in terms of how the people on the photo they are shown, and as if it can be seen as a spect to different social, I would say, classes or atmosphere. And when you have a tendency with people that would be more on the street and people that can be more fancy. And then the colors, of course, we as Asian are very, I would say we are connected to internet. So we see, we are influenced, we hear music, we know other foreign artists. So also there are other current that come also to our day-to-day life. So we also adopt tendencies, colors, but queerness is not something new to the society. It's not something imported. Me as a gay man, and I think I knew it very, when I was very young, and I was never in touch with some, I don't know, blanc, as they like to say it in Haiti, that, you know, that influenced me. This is absolutely false. And this is a way to also show that we can make it on our own. We have our own vocabulary. Like you mentioned, the M community, that with all the names, it is absolutely Creole name. And to make it more enraciné, the roots are absolutely Asian. And if we can link it to Vodou, our Vodou is a space for openness, even though sometimes we talk about Voodoo, I'm like, sometimes I feel like we tend to idealize some part of it because we have different kind of tendencies, and Voodooism are human and they can take many ways. I don't think it's just one block that think the same. So we can have that conversation maybe later. But anyway, it's in that culture, the voodoo culture, where you can find that space, and even for some, there is an explanation. If you are gay or lesbian, is because of the law. And a lot of voodooism would accept it or give space or a certain space to for people to manifest or show their sexuality or love. I finished with that, the series with that word. It's something I was listening to Tupac, and I found it very it kept in my mind based on what we are living now, and linked to, as someone that is documenting the nightlife and our darkness life and the situation, son, how you can I would say allegory to all of these different words. And in fact, the word that I'm showing is underground, but I don't think we meant to stay underground all the time. We meant to live naturally with our family, with friends, and that's it. And I'm not sure, are we going to the Garçon Solide now? Yeah, you can, we can pursue. Garçon Solide is a series I started, that's maybe 5 years ago, yeah. And it came from a joke that I would love to show male nudity, as when I see around me, it's something that we don't really address. We have a certain way to show sexuality, nudity, but in a very, I would, heteronormative way, and sexist as well, the way they depict women. So I was like, what if I address intimacy between men? And that's how all the series started. And my home is the main studio where I shot the people that come. And one thing that I really I would say I insist is I always try to show intimacy and to keep it as the most intimate and casual. Just like this photo, for instance, it's the person that is posing now, and the other one in the background is the lady that come to help at my place. And that day she was there, and the photo I was shooting, and that was like, I had to see the guy, and he came, and after a while, Lisa, that's the name of the lady, she came. I was like, well, maybe it's not the time to shoot, but she came and said, it's a beautiful boy, you should open for him. So definitely. And I call that photo Luisa Knows, as to see how, yeah, she knows. And to see how also, like, where you can find liberty, or sometimes in people that you don't expect, because there are a certain I would say mindset that would say, well, people can be open if they are from a certain type of neighborhoods or social classes, as they like to say it in Haiti. But no, I have the same experience where she would go to church and pray for me to find a boyfriend. What happened when you imagine you go to a church and see that lady praying and for his beloved Josué to find a man, and that is happening in a Protestant church. So all to say that nothing is absolutely static. And when people decide to love, which is what should matter, and they love you anyway, even they don't look at your sexuality or whatever. It's so that's also something I really insist in with my photos, to make it always look casual and natural, as like it's nudity, and well, it can happen in everyday life. And as Asian, I think we have a certain relation with nudity, where it's a lot of neighborhood. It's easy to see people just taking their shower together, or sometimes on the street, men and women, and you don't feel that there is something about sexuality around it, because that's a situation and people have to take shower, and that's life. So I put it in that level too, or I try to address it in that level as well. If we continue, my Garçon Solide series, I was very, at the beginning, it was very in my place, very intimate, and I started to explore other places, abandoned places, when I was when I knew about the word or the concept of urbex. So I started to explore those places, and I found that wonderful house that was abandoned 50 years ago, with a lot of stories. Some people say there are ghosts inside and everything. You know, in Haiti, they can also make up stories and whatever. So with this part of photography, I address nudity as well, but in a relationship with the city, and as how the city Port-au-Prince is very marked by the earthquake, how it is demolished, how it was absolutely affected, and how we still facing the catastrophe in different ways. We can continue. So this is also the same environment, and also addressing the male body and forms. And also for me, what's important is also, like, I do a photography where I am free to shoot what I like and to show it. And of course, in my mind, I have like the aesthetic to, a certain, yes, the aesthetic is always in my mind, but the freedom to show or to express what I like or what I want as a man and as gay, if people see it that way. Yeah, same. That's the series of, so now we have, like we said, there will be nudity. Nudity in the male penis is also something very, it's taboo. Like, it's everywhere, but it's nowhere at the same time. And so it's I can't show everything through social media, but that doesn't mean I limit myself with the censorship, if we call it that way. No, absolutely not. And it's a way to deal with the nudity and as it comes, and also showing it, and always keep in mind that those images will stay as, I forget the word, but a témoin, a witness of a period. And also that we also deserve some type of légèreté in our life. We also deserve pleasure. We also deserve erotism. We also deserve the laugh and to smile, and not always darkness, or as they, even though Haiti is facing very catastrophic situation, but we are we also want to we aspire to beauty and to all kind of freedom. We can continue. The last was the last series I'm showing. It's that was Saint Dérivé des Trottoirs is a collaboration I made with an artist, is a comedian, and they have this play about that mad, absolutely mad woman that is absolutely tired of the society, so is dressed with what we would call fatra and trash, and also express herself in a way where there is no boundary, where she has seen everything and she doesn't care anymore. It's like in relation with what we are living in Haiti, or a lot of us are living, and how we are like, they put so many boundaries, they put so many norms, and sometimes it's also good to break them and address directly to the people that impose them and don't even respect them. Well, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. It's off of the screen, but the images are still playing in my mind, because they're so potent, but also just all of them just so exquisitely beautiful. So I have this question. You talked about witness, right? And many times when people use witness, they mean, witnessing a crime, right? Or witnessing something difficult that they must then report. But it strikes me that in both of your practices that you're witnessing and advocating not only the difficulty, but also the beauty, the humor, the potential, the aspiration. Can you say more about this, Josué?
Well, the thing is, for a long time, people would say we have a new narrative that say that we don't have gay, queer, lesbian people in Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
We don't exist. It's something important, as if it's not everywhere. And you have as if also because that the part of society or humanity has been so, pushed aside. If you don't have, I would say, as if my work is like proof, a part of the proof that we exist, that we are here and in all form. And like this, the work that I show here, it's mostly men, but it's a way to insist, to say that we are here, we exist, and in 10 years they can change that narrative. And I know that there will also be work to say, well, we were never there, but the more that you put things out or archives, and the more that you have that power to to also show how beautiful we were, and how well, with all the difficulties, with all the problems, but how existence is absolutely real. And like they say, if you don't talk, you don't exist sometimes. So important, just like for the voodoo, if the voodooism, the voodoo practitioners, if they don't express, if they don't talk about it, well, other people will talk about it and say whatever they want. They say it's sorcellerie, they say, they put anything. They will also produce, they would produce movies and to educate people about that culture. That's the same thing too about, I would say I can compare it on that level with the LGBT community. It's important that we have photos, that we have essay, that we have work that witness our life, to say that we are part of that humanity that everyone seems to claim for, but sometimes they seem to, you feel like they are pushing aside some of them, like women, gays, and the others.
Thank you. That rhymes so much, is so resonant with, I've been thinking since preparing for this and also seeing the exhibit, thinking of Asoto Sant, who talked about his work as a necessary theater. And this is part of this, that all of these parts are necessary theater. So thank you very much. It also makes me think, before we go to the questions, of Erol Josué talking about generations, about how things may have changed. And I'd like to know from you, Erol Josué, how do you see this, the change in visibility, the change in the way that work circulates and the way that people circulate? You yourself have had a rich career, not only in Haiti, but in Europe, in North America, and other places. How have you seen, or have you seen generational changes, and what do you make of it?
Of course, I see a lot of changes. A lot of change happen in Haiti, in a good way, in a bad way also. And Josué as well just spoke about those pictures, the series of pictures of exhibit he made about. For me, it's kind of change. I remember when I was a teenager, we have that Kanaval groups in a zone, in a quartier, in an area called Dèyè. There are 3 of them, which it was a group of homosexual men only. They've been walking, they've been put their dress as a drag queen, or you name it. A lot of wigs, very nice clothes, like very exaggerated allegoric costume to go out to take the street. It was a generation. They have bars in Port-au-Prince in a difficult area called now Cafufe. They have that beautiful, or that famous bar, gay bar called Kite, the house of Ezeli Frida. They have the only one all again in Martissan, or like in Fontamara called, I forgot the name, but it was in Fontamara, 43, Fontamara 43rd. And generation, even everything was very, you were supposed to be smart to know it was private club. But the Carnival, when people didn't want to perform and Carnival, it was very open. It was open. And for me, I think it's a reason to say homophobia came in Haiti very late. Homophobia came. Haitian is not homophobe. No, not at all. But I think a different generation, they bring different things. It is the change. It's part of the change, like we said. And I saw, for example, in Vodou ceremony, people use and still bring wear their dress. Men wear their dress. That garçon manqué, some mambo or not mambo, we lesbian wear the men clothes with no problem. It's not a problem in Vodou. But in the same token, if you speak about generation change, people being very, like they said, accroché to Instagram, to Facebook, they lost certain valeur. Well, like I said earlier, like the conflict, the anthropological conflicts is a question, is a reason to say what happened, how the society changed like that. But differently, they change in different way, music, dance, our society, the youth change. It's not the same generation. It's come with a lot of beautiful things, but in the same token with bad things also. But we're supposed to have, like they said, a very strong state, a very strong citizen, ce qu'on appelle un état fort capable have the possibility, capable to légiférer, to create law in the country, to create a law to respect the respect du droit à la différence, to respect for human rights, respect for human rights, not even to be gay or lesbian, human rights for propriété intellectuelle, réappropriation de biens culturels. You have to be engaged in that. Those changes are very important. Those changes are very, very, very important to say, if you want to create a society, it's not only to come to go on TV, French TV or American TV or MOCA to just to say, well, they don't love me, but what we propose. And the change also is not only to be militant or to the opposition, but to propose certain things. Propose to Haiti, not only propose for those beautiful museum or international television, but what you propose to your country. What you propose really to the state. Myself as an artist, I used to live in Paris and in France. I have a good, in New York, good life. My career was up. And I mean, it was in the crossroad. I was a missionary to become a superstar. But I decided, after the earthquake, I decided to go to Haiti, come back to my country, and to propose what I have, my knowledge to Haiti, and to be part of that system. If you want to change a system, you have to be part of it. I go, accept to be Director General in National Office of Ethnology and to change the vision of Haitian ethnology. It's that the way I make the respect from that part in my country. Now we have a lot of problems to create. We have a lot of things to catalog. We have a lot of pictures to do. We have a lot of inventory to make again. But someone is there. Someone is working. Someone is like with a staff is there to understand what is the problem and what is the solution we can make.
All right. Thank you. We don't have a lot of time, but I do want to just ask one more question. This notion of being there to propose and to offer, and also the notion of being a witness. And I would want to ask both of you just briefly, if you can say for our audience watching all over the world, right, but coming from Miami, and also coming from me as a Black person in diaspora, knowing that we all owe Haiti a great deal, our first free republic, that we know has been made to try to pay for its audacity and its moves to freedom. What, from your position at this moment, what role, if any, do you see in people outside of Haiti, or not Haitian perhaps? How can people show their solidarity with this difficult moment, or be an accomplice, or be an ally in moving to the futures that you see? Josué, do you want to begin?
Well, what would I say? Well, what came first in my mind is when I see people in the diaspora, Asian or not Asian, and talking about Haiti or showing that they care and they can be totally honest with that and say, well, how can we help? I think something is very important when you see the situation in Haiti now. You have what is happening inside with the local government, etc. And also the relationship with the country with other countries like the US, as it ends very deep in what we are dealing with, Canada, France. So I would say for those people in the diaspora and even more, maybe they should also think when they are voting It should be political and not just how they would get, it's good to have your tax return and whatever, but also to pay attention to the foreign politics that your government are operating that can affect us, and how they are complice to what is happening, and how maybe at a certain level we can put pressure just to so you are voting right, because nowadays that's how it goes with democracy, and you have your, so we have to pay attention to that too. And also, when you inside, outside, nobody should feel, it's complicated not to feel bad because you're outside for a lot, but you can absolutely be a good ally in the term that how you love your country outside, how you advocate for it, how you do your best to be that good person for yourself and for your surrounding. And to maybe to help more is to know more your history, to know more your culture. And through that, you can be the best ambassador for your country or for that culture, and value and also that you value what comes, from, and it's not just something with Haitian or the flags, because we can talk about it on other level. Racism, it's something, yeah, it's for Haitian, but it's for Black people from all over the world, and also non-Black. So to be, to have a special attention to those issues. So it's a way, to connect with humanity, and also to push maybe on the right way, so things can change. Maybe not so quick, but absolutely we can achieve great things if we believe in community, and also put attention in how we vote and how we value what is ours. That doesn't mean, when you value yourself, that doesn't mean you disvalue the other, but you are, the self-esteem, the how I think the right word is really to value what we have in the culture, and to also sometimes unlearn so many things, and stop and also stop idealize some part of us. Like, we should also look at things in a critical way to know that wasn't a good way to go, and recognize that and do it differently. But being inside, being outside, we all can do as little as it can. Imagine we are many to do the little, it can make great difference. So that's what I would say. Like, for the diaspora, pay more attention to what's happening, like in your state, like you in Florida. Stop telling me that you don't think there is racism just because you Asian, or you have that certain job, or this or that, or you're not directly, or you think you're not directly affected by it. So you become as if you're not sensible to it. So yeah, pay attention to your neighbor, to your community, hear what's happening. Maybe people can be more aware of, what's surrounding. That's, in my opinion, that's what I would say.
Thank you. Thank you. Erol?
Yes.
Would you like to?
My opinion, like that, if what you guys, like Haitian or non-Haitians, diaspora or non-Haitian, can do for Haiti. I think Haiti in 1804 made a statement. The statement to create that, to change the global done about slavery. Haiti give to the humanity the best gift the humanity never got: freedom, independence, example. And for now, I don't think Haiti is, even we are on the provision of different big countries, quote unquote, also. But I think it's the time for non-Haitians to understand by themselves with their gratitude what they can do, what they can be to advocate, to try to help, not to help to give money or food, what pensée, what you think about that country. Because Haiti is not only a country, it's a concept of independence, a concept of the proposition. People receive that independence, receive that freedom for now, and what you can give in return. Your give back supposed to be something, but not Haitians or Haitian government going to ask to do something, to give something, but you guys, what you can, what you have, what is your feeling, what is your gratitude to have that give back. Myself, I think Haiti need Haitians. We need, maybe it's a dream to close our door and try to rebuild Haiti with ourselves. And if people, partner or friends want to put their hands, welcome. But the beginning, the first thing is Haitian supposed to take care of Haiti. And Haiti propose freedom, give freedom to the world, and the world supposed to have the payback to Haiti also in a certain way.
Respect. Thank you very much. Thank you to both of you. And thank you to MOCA for bringing us together for this conversation that we will continue also. And to, of course, Didier William for the remarkable work that brings us together at the museum still. Please, if you've not seen it, or if you've not been able to come to the museum, those listening, or you've only been once or twice, please come again. And we look forward to another opportunity to sit with and learn from Erol Josué and Josué Azor. Thank you so much for this evening and for the gifts that you've brought in this conversation and in your work.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you all so much
Thank
for
you, the pleasure
tuning
is
in
mine.
tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'd like to invite us all, if you haven't had a chance or you want to come and visit MOCA, April 14th will be our final conversations at MOCA. We're so excited to see you here. Didier will be in conversation with many other artists from New World School of the Arts, which is a school that he attended that supported him, and community that he found as well. We talked about how important the community is in these kinds of conversations. I just wanted, before we finish up, sorry, we had one additional question in the Q&A and I wanted to make sure we were able to get to it. Oh yeah, absolutely. Jafari, if you'd like to go ahead and ask that question before we finish up. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yes, no, I'm sorry. I was looking at the time and then see
No
there was
worries.
a question. There was a question about language and the language around queerness in Creole. And the questioner asked, we are creating and recognizing language that breaks binaries. Is this also happening in Creole?
Let me read it. Creating and recognizing language. Right. Well, Creole, I'm not a specialist first, but I would say Creole has this, I suppose that other languages also, they have that particularity. It's like for a lot of words, they are non-binary, like naturally, like how they would name some people regarding what they are doing as work, as some pronoun, Lee, is like for all the, all the genders. It's not that we have a very developed theory about gender. And sometimes it's a good sign because that means it's not a question. And so people can live without being labeled.
Mm.
So in terms of that, there is not so much around it, but also we can go to when we refer to the language, how the construction of the word, the M, like they say the community M, like Masisi, Makome, Madivine, Mix. These are words that exist long time ago in our vocabulary. So it's not like we Haitian wait for other languages to exist, or and so absolutely we already embrace or already own how we name different type of sexuality, if I can say it that way. And it's not, and also our, in Voodoo, it's very, I would say, fluid, how that one man can be possessed by that feminine law and acted very feminine. And it's not a question, it's absolutely normal because we respect that spirit, that law. So sometimes when we don't name things, it's a good sign because it's absolutely no issue. Sometimes.
Thank you so much for all of that. Yeah, I've been trying to brush up on learn Creole. Most of our students identify as from the Haitian diaspora here in North Miami. And so they were trying to teach me certain words. And one of the things that I found is that it's really, there's no gender in the language. It's li and ti, and then unlike in Spanish, which is what I learned first, which is very gendered. Everything in Spanish has a gender. In Creole, it's very different than that. And so I've loved, it's one of my favorite things to start learning for. So thank you both, and thank you all three of you so much for your time. And we hope to be in conversation with you all and see you all again sometime soon. So
yes.
Thank you so much, and have a wonderful night, everybody.
Merci.
Merci un peu.
Merci.
Merci.
Wonderful night.